In this video, I'm going to go through an example of finding a confidence interval for the population mean when sigma is known, and I'm going to be using Microsoft Excel as my calculator. This example comes from the free online Introductory Statistics textbook available via this link here. Alright, so let's start by reading through the example. So we're supposing that the scores on exams, okay, in a statistics class, they're normally distributed and they have an unknown population mean. Okay, so mu, the population mean, we don't know what it is. Unknown population mean. The population standard deviation, though, it's 3 points. So we do know that. All right, a random sample of 36 scores is taken. So 36 scores, random samples, so that's the sample size, n. And the sample mean is 68. So x bar, sample mean, is 68. We want to construct a confidence interval for the population mean, okay? And we want to find the 90% confidence interval for the true population mean of statistics exam scores. Okay, so before I go and calculate the confidence interval, I just want to pause and take a moment to talk about what it is I'm calculating, okay? So if we have a number line here, the sample mean is here at 68, okay? This is the sample mean. The thing is, we don't know where the population mean is. Mu could be a little bit above 68. It could be a little below 68. It could be really, really close to 68. It could be 68, right? We don't know where the population mean mu is. So what we want to do is we want to construct an interval around the sample mean, okay? And what we want to say is, well, we're 90% confident that mu is somewhere in this interval, okay? And so the way we're going to do that is we start at our sample mean, and then we go some amount above the sample mean, and we go some amount below the sample mean to kind of construct this like buffer zone around the sample mean. Okay, so that's what we need to figure out. How much below, how much above. All right, I'm writing the letter E because that's how much. It's this margin of error, or E. Okay, so E is the margin of error. That's what we need to figure out. Once we have figured out the margin of error, to get to the lower side of our confidence interval, we'll basically take our sample mean and we'll subtract out the margin of error. Okay, and to find the upper side, we'll take our sample mean and we'll add on the margin of error. All right, and then that's all we have to do. We'll have our confidence interval. Okay. So I'm going to use Excel to calculate this confidence interval. Basically, the main thing I need to know right now is what is E, right? What is the margin of error, okay? And I'm going to use Excel to figure out what is E, okay? Excel is going to tell me what it is. Actually, let's go there and let's look at that function. So the function in Excel that you want to type in, so this is the function for E, okay? Type in equals confidence, and you can see it there. Once you see it, you can just press it. Confidence.norm. All right, there's 3 things that this function needs: alpha, standard deviation, and size. Okay, let's start by talking about what is alpha. Alpha has everything to do with your confidence interval percentage, this guy right here. Okay, so let me draw this out. If we have our confidence interval and 90% is in the middle, 90% is in the middle because we have a 90% confidence interval, then alpha is the amount that's left over for the tails. Okay, so alpha is equal to 1 minus whatever the confidence level is. All right, so 0.9. Go ahead and change the percentage into a decimal. All right, so alpha is 0.10. All right, so let's go back into Excel. So alpha is always 1 minus whatever your confidence level is. So 0.10. Then write a comma. That brings you to the next piece that you need to figure out is the standard deviation. The standard deviation is the population standard deviation. They told us it's 3. So I'll go ahead and type that. And then I'll do a comma. And then size. Size is sample size. How many people did we sample? 36 people. Close parentheses and then press enter on your keyboard. 0.822. So I now know E. E equals 0.822. Okay, so the lower bound of my confidence interval is x bar minus E. So that will be 68 minus 0.822, right? And I'll go ahead and find that in Excel, or I could just pull out a calculator. But if I type in equals 68 minus, and then since I'm in Excel, I can just press that cell, and it'll put in 0.822 there. Press enter, and I get my lower bound. 67.18. I'll round that. 67.18. Okay, then the upper bound, 68 plus 0.822. Okay, I don't need a calculator for that. That's just going to be 68.822, or if I only round that 2 decimal places, 68.82. Right? We could have used Excel if we wanted to. Upper bound equals 68 plus, then you can just click on the cell that has E, press enter, and there you go, 68.82. Okay, so finally, when I write my answer, my confidence interval is 67.18, comma, 68.82, and then we usually put parentheses around that interval. And there you go. That's the solution.